freely using Katarina's cook.
Kindred cautiously cooked Kit Kat cupcake.
Kindred cautiously cooked Kit Kat cupcake.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Carefreely using...
Kindred cautiously cooked Kit Kat cupcake.
Oh, it doesn't even matter. I'm ready. It's fine.
Hey, shouldn't you be on stage right now?
Hey, you got a pick.
Tom Kent?
What? I was not expecting this.
And a crazy off-meta pick that secured you the win. How did you come up with it?
Oh. I just listened to my gut.
Vetheo should be dead. Extra bit of movement speed. Ball breaker. Hits him. Oh, it's a 1, 2, 3. Humanoid. Now gonna be in trouble. Moonsilver Blade not gonna save him. Hylissang though. The ulti. Carzzy.
Kalista no cleanse. Kalista no cleanse.
Look by.
Look by.
Against Marcel, against
Look
Marcel.
by. Okay, then
I've got ult, I've got ult.
look by. Okay, nice.
I'm
Fight,
arresting them.
fight. We win.
Ash?
Yeah, there. Good job. Look, Asante.
Yeah, this champ.
Please, I'm just standing still.
I'm
Go finish it.
Welcome back to the LEC with Vitality putting themselves in the lead in the series going up against Fnatic. And first things first that I would like to touch upon here is the fact that we got to see Diana mid. 0% pick rate so far in the LEC except today, but also 0% win rate.
Oh my god, it's matching.
Yay!
It was a tough game for him, I would say. He got really shot on early by the dive, and then he went to side lane, and then there's a rumble, Hex flashing on him, turning into Diana barbecue in the bot lane, and he just kind of kept Shane dying without really getting his farm. I feel like Diana really wants like 1 or 2 items, so then the ults actually hurt. But even when it did land a big ult, it was kind of pathetic, honestly. Like, I don't know what to say.
Wow, you're being so nice today.
Well, we did say it in the pre-show, like Fnatic kind of lives or dies by Humanoid. This game he died a lot, so I guess Fnatic ended up dying as well. But I think this is also the beauty of a best of 5 series where you can take a risk and you can, you know, draft in an entirely different way. And even if it goes wrong, it's okay. You can just move on to the next game.
Yeah, I would like to touch upon that draft particularly because you're mentioning yourself, Finn, that when you were looking at Diana, it's a champion that wants to get ahead, wants to get an item or two, you know, especially when you're ult. You want to have that Zhonya's at the very least available. But with the composition that Vitality had drafted, it was so impossible for Humanoid or anyone from the Fnatic side to really get their plan going.
I feel like it was a really sloppy 4-5. I feel like you can't really give the enemy a Malphite angle like this when you're playing such a volatile draft without any real magic damage threats. Like they had Ashe and Kalista already, then you don't want to play against the Malphite. Put a AP assassin in the mid lane and suddenly no one can kill this Malphite. He's by his full armor and is not getting touched in any fight, and his ult has so much value. Coming up with a Rumble Equalizer as to follow up on this as well is very dangerous, and I think like their bot lane didn't even win lane, so what is the point of this bot lane matchup? Like, I really don't get it.
Yeah, we're highlighting this Diana and we're highlighting that mid lane matchup. Coming into this as well, you said Humanoid is going to be the reason just where Fnatic is able to close this out. And you were talking about how important that matchup will be against Vetheo. And then we're looking at Vetheo, and this guy was just on it today. He was locked in.
Yeah, I think, you know, they had a really good approach when it comes to shutting down the Diana. Like Finn mentioned, you need to be able to fight consistently as Diana, and if your side lanes and your jungler cannot help you and assist you in getting those fights started, it's a tough time. Them being able to get the early dive.
Wait, are you blaming the jungler?
Well,
Wait a minute.
I think a lot of things can be blamed more than anything. I think there are situations where you can pick Diana. This wasn't one of them because the setup and the pressure from bot lane and jungle just wasn't there.
I feel like you really want like a melee support that comes mid and fights with you, but then you have like an Ashe that doesn't really want to leave bot lane. She wants to get to level 6 early, and then suddenly there's a Rumble moving to your lane every single time. Your support is nowhere to be seen, and you're such a sad Diana.
Yeah, that was a sad Diana.
It was very
I
sad,
think that's a very polite way to put it. But I want to bring this back in terms of Vetheo and the impact that he has had this game particularly, because Vetheo has been an instrumental part of the success of Vitality, and we said it coming into this, right? We want him to pop off if they want to have a chance, and he's done just that, but it also feels like he went above and beyond. So for me, it's looking scary going into that next game of the series of what we can be expecting from Vetheo.
I think Vetheo has this spring been the type of player who typically doesn't completely take over in the laning phase, but if you give him like a little finger, he's gonna take the entire hand and just solo carry the game. And this was a great situation for him to be in as well, where he's a playmaker, he gets strong, and he's just able to utilize the pressure from Hylissang Rumble, and they can just group up and consistently find those openings. I also think the Ahri pick was really nice here because they had so much burst damage. So often in fights, they would kill one target, Vetheo would get an extra charge on his ult, and he was just jumping all over the place, killing
He was
absolutely
completely
everybody.
popping off every single fight as Ahri. What a terror to play against, honestly. Like, one guy dies, and then he gets another reset, and he just keeps shading these ults on repeat. Even here, he dies first, and then suddenly Carzzy takes over the fight. I think he does 7k damage this fight, which is unbelievable. That was like all of his team's damage. It's Carzzy free hitting the front line of Fnatic here.
Yeah, Carzzy had a pretty great game himself as well on the Varus, and again being facilitated by that with the Ahri coming through from Vetheo. The team fight setup was phenomenal for that side of things. And coming into this, we said it was going to be a very scrappy game, and it was 53 kills in 31 minutes, which actually means that it's tied for the most kills in a single game this year. Can they beat this? Do you want them to beat this?
Vitality will find a way, I promise you. These guys, they know how to get dirty. But I do really think that maybe next game, Fnatic, calm down a bit with the Diana, drop the Diana, go back to what is
No
working.
way, actually, for real?
Yeah, maybe play some Aurelion Sol, some Azir, some Orianna, some good control mages, and we see the Fnatic we know and love, where Humanoid can actually have a huge impact on the game by himself.
Yeah, well, Fnatic has that blue side, so it does put them potentially in a more favorable spot when it comes to getting some of these drafts maybe locked in.
Well, I think at the end of the day, they just, again, they took a big risk, it didn't work out. Now they go back to the drawing board. The reason they even made it to this stage was by having really strong scaling hyper carries, both mid and in the AD carry position. And if they go back to that, like just have really stable early games with these team fighting comps, it's going to be an entirely different game too.
Yeah, I think this Diana was like a curveball. If you win with this Diana, you have so much pressure in draft for next coming games. Like, Vitality wouldn't know what to do. You lost, and that's fine. I think this was just like a shot in the dark. It didn't work out. You go back to what works now.
Yeah, that's also the beauties of these best of series, because you can have that space to come through with a little bit of creativity. We saw that particularly in yesterday's games from the side of G2. So I think, again, giving these teams the breathing space to play around with some of these drafts is crucial. And I'm looking forward to see what they're going to be prioritizing coming into this next matchup, because mid lane for me, Broxah, seems to be the pillar of Fnatic. So that's where you would like to put the best, most comfortable champ for Humanoid.
Yeah, and it's not like he needs a champion necessarily that's really strong early game where he can, you know, take over the laning phase. He just needs one of his strong control mages and comfort picks, and then I'm sure he's going to be able to shine here.
Yeah, we do see 2 top lane bans already banning out from Fnatic, so maybe I'm expecting like an early Cassandra pick or Rek'Sai pick. We're sitting both Rumble and Twisted Fate are out. I mean, I do understand that those are flex picks for Vitality, but usually you see those champions top.
I like the adaptation from Fnatic. Like before, they banned Maokai, Nautilus, and Twisted Fate. Now it's Rumble, Ashe, and Twisted Fate, meaning it's going to be a very different draft. Vitality, Siri Rel again, just like the previous one. If they want to commit to the same strategy, this is going to be a Rek'Sai ban. But high chance there's going to be a lot of changes, actually removing the Kalista.
Yeah, I feel like Varus probably goes up a lot here. But also the Rek'Sai that was banned for game 1 is being first picked here. And by banning Rumble and Twisted Fate, those are kind of like the core answers to it, so Oscar feels a lot more safe banning this. I wonder what Photon has prepared into Rek'Sai, because we've seen a lot of different things. We've seen like the Olafs, we've seen the Udurs, some worked out, most of them didn't. This Rek'Sai champ feels very annoying to play against, and it's hard to really make a plan. Photon here is giggling, he's having the Varus. I wonder if we will see this Varus being flexed maybe. Or not, but it will be picked early by Vitality. They had a great impact on the game 1, and surely Carzzy will be happy playing that again.
So there's different directions you can go here if you're Vitality. You can look into something like an Nautilus if you want to secure the support pick for yourself. You can log in one of the prior junglers like Volibear Vi. Do decide to go for the Volibear, which is, you know, just a strong pick to have alongside the Varus. Both of these champions want to play incredibly aggressive in the early game. With Volibear, not only are you going to beat any jungler 1v1, but you're also going to have a lot of dive threat. Now, there's one champion we frequently see against the Volibear, which is Jax, that has some form of, you know, counterplay, but still not exactly at the same level as Volibear.
Humanoid back on this here, as we expected.
ASOL is still open.
Yeah, ASOL is still open. I wonder if VIT has prepared it, or if he will play something else. He has the Volibear next to him, so he can actually pick something aggressive if he wants to. Maybe we'll see a repeat of the Ahri. Ahri Volibear has a lot of burst damage, so not even a serious safe towards that. However, in the Taliyah also works very well with the target stun of Volibear to set up the seismic shove. Will be locked in, and I'm excited to see how this mid 2v2 plays out, because I think that is very crucial for this matchup.
I do like the adaptation from Fnatic here. Like, again, we just wanted to see them playing these strong front-to-back, more scaling-oriented comps that brought them to this stage that they're so good at, so they can really utilize their prowess in team fights. And now, against Vitality's comp, it's just going to be all about surviving in the early game. We know Vitality is going to be playing incredibly aggressive, just trying to brute force skirmishes across the board. Fnatic have to be patient and disciplined, and if they survive, they should be winning in mid and late game team fights.
Important to note here that Fnatic's bot lane is getting very pinched in draft. Not only there are like 4 to 5 AD carries going to be banned, depending on how you define Twisted Fate, but they also first picked the strongest AD carry in Vitality. So you're dropping your bot lane while the enemy has like by far the strongest AD carry. So no matter what happens, you're going to end up with a pretty weak AD carry compared to your enemy. So I wonder what they're going to cook up here in the 4-5. No one John has to pick like a combo. What is available here is the Rakan. There's like some not Kai'Sa angles, which we could see. You have like all the freedom in the world, but no matter what you pick, it's gonna be just average at best. The Nautilus and the Renata band is signaling to me that they want the Rakan. Usually those are like the main answers to the Rakan, so maybe a Rakan or a Kai'Sa Rakan is what we could see by Fnatic. But first, Vitality should probably pick their top laner here. Oh! And they notice it, just like we did, and they actually take away their accounts. It's very clever by Vitality.
Yeah, like you said, this is the downside of banning both Renata and Nautilus. You kind of end up giving Vitality a free Rakan angle. Yeah. Fnatic most likely expected them to lock in top lane and last pick support, but they want point.
Hylissang is saying, I'm not scared of banning Rakan. Give me that shit, I'm gonna make plays all across the map. And he is not scared. Like, even if the Photon could take the picker and get counter pick support, Rakan is just so valuable in this spot and draft. They will still go for the Xayah, which really shows that they really wanted the Xayah Rakan, and they're maybe a little bit sad now, but they would have to make something work. There's many different options you can play here. You can look for an Alistar, you can look for a Leona in the past that's really coming into Rakan. We'll see what they play here.
I think no matter what they log in bot lane, the name of the game is just going to be Survive.
Wow. Nope, it will not.
Go for the
Never mind, they want to go ham.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you look at like the different matchups that you have, Varus is naturally going to have more pressure than Xayah in the early game. Taliyah is going to be pushing in their Azir and will be able to roam towards bot lane. So I expected them to just, you know, accept that bot lane will be pushed in and losing. With the Blitzcrank, however, you certainly have to move forward and make those early game plays, because otherwise the champion doesn't have much value.
Yes, all smiles though on the side of Vitality, so they feel very comfortable with this draft.
Yeah, I think Vitality should be happy with this draft. I think it was really good to take the Rakan away on 4. I think that really gave them the edge they needed in draft. I think this Blitzcrank is going to be very hit or miss. Like, Jun can look really good this game, or it's going to be very hard for him. Jayce pick on 5 is very bold, but you do have the Jayce, Volibear, Taliyah, which is a very strong top side. I imagine they might try to look for some early top dives with the Volibear, or especially when Volibear is level 6, the top dive becomes very easy. You move Taliyah up through the river, you have the wall to join the fight very easily, and Volibear to disable the tower. Not even a Rek'Sai can survive that.
If this was G2 playing on Fnatic side, I'm sure there would be a lane swap, because every lane and jungle is going to be a little bit scary and difficult to survive in the early game. And again, that's just the name of the game for Fnatic. Could they consider learning from G2 and going the lane swap route, or will they just try to brute force those openings where, you know, they find that 1 or 2 kills that can actually make a difference and allow them to play in the early game?
Oh, let's see whether or not the early game is going to be thriving, because we're ready to head into the second game of the series. Vitality currently in the lead, but can Fnatic bring it back? Let's head over to our casters to break it down.
Thank you very much to our wonderful analyst desk breaking down those picks and bans. As we get ready for game 2. This one's going to be hot. I love seeing a Blitzcrank in my games, and Noah and Jun, no strangers to playing aggressive lanes. See if this is the game where they can fight back, get a bit more done. It was a tough game 1, no doubt. Game 2. I feel like it's going to hit a little bit different. Razork on a champion that can completely take over, that can completely carry, with also a pretty good matchup into the Volibear. That said, Photon getting Jayce is scary.
Always scary.
It's very scary.
At least
in the grand scheme of things, you don't have the push. Hilly is just sitting up here in case Rek'Sai tries to sneak into bush, but it's tough to just push the Rek'Sai lane. Now, Rek'Sai still has to hit things to kind of do the Healy thing,
Yes.
which does make it a little bit tougher, but...
Succinct.
Yes.
Hit things to do the
Healy thing, yeah.
But yeah, but it does kind of require you to play like incredibly aggressive, super far forward if you want to deny Rek'Sai those opportunities, because you're not out sustaining him, so you have to get him low enough that you can actually threaten. It's hard. It's hard to do a lot against Rek'Sai. He's really strong on this patch. We'll see if Photon has the recipe, has the experience to mitigate Oscar's impact, because we've seen as you get later into the game, you know, this champion provides a ton of backline threat. It's really hard to disrupt, even with a Taliyah on your team, and can just be so obnoxious to deal with. And
Oscarinin has already had a great performance of the champion as well, so you definitely don't want him to be going out of the lane phase in a decent state, especially as you say with the composition Fnatic have. I think looking for and fishing for hooks is going to be the big story with Jun, especially if you can try and get control over this bottom side of the map or isolate that into just the both AD carries are there and Jun's able to roam around, because sure, if you hook Hilly, he's got an escape tool, but essentially no one else apart from Daglas really does in those scenarios, and will die very, very quickly.
Knockup going to connect from Hylissang. Bone plating Ignite now as well, forcing an early cleanse out from Noah. Very good trade for the side of Vitality. As expected, a bit favored in the level 1. Noah needs to at least hit level 2, be able to pull the feathers back before he's going to do too much. And I think I like the Blitz as a way to potentially break the lane up in what could be a very, you know, disadvantageous lane matchup. And also, as you highlighted, yeah, there's just so many squishy people on the opposite side. There's almost no bad target to hook, which means as we get into the mid game, if Fnatic can get some control over the brush, over the vision, then they can just start to fish for these hooks and try to make that be their angle to make plays on the map.
Humanoid thinks the Daglas is on the bottom side because Daglas took all 3 top camps.
Q flash, forcing the flash out as well. Sky Splitter to shield. Good little seismic shove from Vetheo. Humanoid not going to be too phased, but it's the repeat gank you have to be wary of. Nice hook onto Hylissang. Good follow-up, pull back, but Hylissang flashing to the side. Battle dance back to safety. Fnatic really can't get a greater advantage there. Forcing the flash out from Noah trading, and Fnatic losing summoner spells everywhere on the map. Daglas can now just walk in if he so chooses. Not sure if the ward caught the edge of him or not.
And I was about to say I really like the pathing from Razork because he should have been down here, but now he's not.
Uh-oh.
And Daglas...
Jun in trouble. Noah coming in though, flashing out for now. Daglas getting knocked up. Daglas taking a decent amount of damage. The hook back is big. This is why you have to be careful on diving the Blitz. It's first blood to Jun! The hero hook. But a bit of a fumble there from the side of Vitality. Punished for that dive.
Daglas getting caught is such a massive mistake. Nicely played by Jun to get that kill. And a terror play does go over towards Vitality. But still, Fnatic coming out, managing to collect most of the waves, still lost some. Is going to be a big win for them. We're just going to catch in the replay here. Jun left alone underneath the tower, but managing to flash away here from the initial setup from Hilly, and also absorbing the stun from Daglas. Then the knock-up means that Daglas ends up taking the damage. But yeah, gets the flash of the Carzzy, and that means there is no flashes on this side of the map. And if you actually look at where Razork's pathing is, he's going to be moving back down towards this bottom side. So you have to be very careful now as Carzzy and Hylissang on this bot lane, which is why Daglas again is down here. But he hasn't cleared his bot side jungle. He's very behind the CS.
Razork can just step up, lay down a little bit of damage. Jun with a red buff to keep him healthy as well. Daglas not going to win out in the 1v1, but Carzzy and Hylissang are first on the move. Jun can threaten with the hook, however. They have to be careful. And I got to say, obviously a bit of a fumble there from the side of Vitality, but Jun played that super well, flashing in towards Daglas to make sure that he takes tower aggro first. Bit of a fumble from Daglas, certainly. But then the entire play turning against him. That is about the only way that Fnatic were going to dig themselves out of the early game hole that they had just been put in. Because they had lost just about every summoner spell that would keep them alive and healthy. And a play like that, surviving the tower dive, turning it back on Vitality, is the only way they could have evened things up.
And it is unfortunate because I think Vitality actually, and Daglas, did have some creative pathing, right? He took out all 3 camps on top side, tried to play up towards Photon to make sure there's no funny business on a early gank to top side, just cover that. Then moves mid, and Humanoid is leaning top side because he thinks that's where his jungler is, so burns the flash on Humanoid.
Yeah.
Then people go, right, he's only taking 3 camps, he has to go into his own jungle. But then playing off that, managed to get the summons on bot. So Daglas did a good job, but he just fumbles at the last step, and now sets himself massively far behind as a result. And Fnatic are getting to open up the map and get Jun actually on these roams where he can start to make things happen.
Yeah. Jun getting the kill, maybe not ideal, but a little bit extra gold certainly never hurt. Frees him up to roam now as the Cole for Noah be a bit on the back foot, still behind in overall CS. Lost a lot in the exchange there. You said caught most of the way, but obviously missed a decent chunk. Carzzy and Hylissang were quite far ahead and also denied a couple of creeps to the tower. But the Blitzcrank really where I think we need to keep our eyes in terms of playmaking. One of the few champions I think in pro play as a support where you can, similar to Rakan, honestly, just solo carry games if you are in the right position, if you get the right setups.
Yeah, one hook can change everything. Razork, though, is in a good spot. Humanoid also with a small lead for himself, at least when it comes to experience. Means that this is kind of where Fnatic like to play and like to put their advantages and then lean it into this bottom side.
Jun, power fist to kick the dive off. Immediate follow-up now. Jun zooming out to safety. Getting a little bit lower, just barely able to get out of tower range. Vitality not going to have the same fortunate circumstances to get the kill back. Fnatic just doing it better on those bot lane dives.
Nicely done by Fnatic, and again, this stems from all those early summoner spells being burnt in the 2v2, in that 3v2, and Razork punishing well. And Razork just cleared the entire time that Daglas was trying to go for all these plays, so he has an advantage that he's now putting and investing into this bottom side of the map, and this has kind of been the bread and butter for Fnatic. Vitality fall flat as soon as they show up.
And excellent to have those leads now. Shifting the gold back in favor of Noah on top of the early cold that he's picking up, getting him that much closer to a first item completion. Razork now going to trade grubs for the dragon, much to be expected. Photon still ahead in terms of the 1v1 laning matchup on the top side. But overall, Fnatic off to a much better start, and Jun now looking to make the difference. Vetheo doesn't see him, hoping to get in range. The rocket fist is there, the instantaneous follow-up. And every bush got a Blitzcrank in it, baby. If you can't see him, he's always going to be there. Jun still stepping forward. Another rocket grab coming through. Humanoid, they're ready for the chase down here. Vitality need to start retreating. Ferocious Maul already marking up one target, though. Daglas is going to be able to get a lot of health back. The initial stun going forward. They're turning back onto Hylissang, flashing back behind Daglas. They want to keep the play going. The hook back onto Hylissang, but he battle dances out to safety. The extra shield now coming in from the Guardian just in time to keep him standing, but Carzzy getting lower and lower. No, with the level 6, Carzzy only level 5. He just wants a couple extra creeps. The feathers fly, and down goes Carzzy. Noah showing up in game 2.
The experience difference coming in clutch there. Noah got to get some of that CS as they went for the dive on the bottom side. Carzzy got none and he's behind and suddenly felt the pain of that again. Fnatic 4-0 coming into game 2. They didn't like the way game 1 started.
You have to be able to rally in a best of 5 like this. You have to be able to come back with a clear head and have the confidence to pick something like a Blitzcrank to go for plays like this. And obviously, once you're in this position, it's not hard to hit that hook. There's nowhere for Vetheo to go, but it's the setup, it's the diligence on the play, and the timing that really makes it work out.
He needed to flash the initial play, but it doesn't, and it means that he ends up getting caught. And then this here, Hylissang again, ends up putting himself into a position where trying to look juicy, knowing he has far more tools to try and escape than Daglas does, and just ends up getting the flash, then ends up getting the dash away, but the follow-up from Fnatic as they go underneath the tower is just too much as Noah. Really nice job here. Dodges that spell and managed to just clip him with the Feather Storm.
Hits him with a thumbs up as well. Confidence coming back in a big way as Photon. I'm noticing a trend here in this series thus far. Whatever top laner is winning their matchup, their team is losing the game a little bit. As Photon, yes, has that lead in isolation, but the rest of the map is a little bit in shambles. Neither side has completed a full item yet, however, so still some room to fight back as Vetheo trying to make sure that there's a bit of vision here, trying to see if he can maybe get Prio here and start to roam into these side lanes, generate a bigger lead for the team.
The fact that Noah has a lead, though, and Cole in the back pocket means he's going to be in a great spot when that pops. And Xayah, I mean, I think it was actually Betty who was talking about it just the other day, was saying she's so obnoxious when she gets to those 2 items, and if she gets a lead because of how well she spikes in that position. And when you're going for an on-hit build with the Varus as well, it becomes very difficult to try and contest wave states, especially with the Blitzcrank who's just hovering off to the side. Just...
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Blitzcrank hook will not connect. I mean, it's a good call out. The other thing we have to pay attention to is the Baron clear speed on Fnatic at 1.5 to 2 items is incredible with an Azir and a Xayah. Once you get Navori, you obliterate that objective, and the same is true for Azir on 2 items with the Nashers, right? So, have to be diligent on the side of Vitality if they are falling behind, not to ever let their judgment lapse around the objective, or it could just get knocked down.
Yeah, I think it's kind of curious to see Carzzy going for the on-hit, especially because I thought he would maybe go for the lethality just based off of, hey, we've got the Jayce, we've got Varus, we can go for this poke.
Pairs really well with poke.
Exactly, and I think you've got enough disengage that can come through as well with the Taliyah, but or even separate people out once you have already poked out a couple of members. But I think just a little bit worried about having that consistent DPS, but either way, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's still playable from the position that they're in. They just need to make sure they're diligent on getting Carzzy that positioning in fights. Otherwise, there are opportunities for Razork to jump onto him with the counter-strike, Humanoid to get a swoop in and just ruin his day, honestly, in a team fight.
Yeah, a lot of vulnerable carries on the side of Vitality, no doubt. And overall, Fnatic, again, in a much better position, 1.5k gold lead, yes, but they also aren't in a position where they have to take maybe some over-aggressive fights or risk anything, as Noah is going to get locked up here. Charm as well, cleanse out, but the ulti still hitting him for a brief moment. They turn the tower off, the feathers are going to fly, the flashback on Hilly! Noah's clean with it, baby! That's a killing spree, a thumbs up, he's going to die. But he's going to die happy knowing he got the outplay.
He got the 1-for-1. And has bought a ton of space on both mid tower and a potential dive on top tower. The Fnatic were setting up just off the back of this Photon. You need to be so careful here. Razork going to try and cut the wave. Has the Blitzcrank in the area as well.
Can't step too far forward. Now we'll see Jun on the way forward. Knockback on the Thundering Blow. Flash to safety. Sidestep isn't there! Hitbox a little too meaty on those fists. Jun lands the hook. Razork takes him down.
So you end up with a kill apiece, but Fnatic are getting more plates in mid, more plates on the top side. So it's Fnatic who are coming out on top when it comes into the grand scheme of things. So nicely done there by Fnatic to get that roam. And Noah, great outplay on the bottom side.
Great outplay, gets the 1-for-1. 3-1 now, has completed the item, has the coal still stacking up, and Fnatic also getting a play on the cross map, only further extending their gold lead. Hylissang finally here, but it is too late. If he cancels this recall, it might be a different story. Oscar, I think mostly just going to be delayed here. Do they want to commit for it? It looks like the answer is yes, but he should just have a tunnel. They need to time this right to interrupt. They're not going to overextend, not going to risk it. Obviously, can buffer the tunnel as well.
That will force Oscarinin to TP back in, though, so he doesn't end up losing plate. Hilly, do you get the cancel again? Just throw the clue. Ah, okay. But still, I think you should, get the plate here off the back of this, which is still nice, just with that delay, so you don't get the TP back in immediately.
You can see in the meantime, though, just the pick up of the early Merc Treads and a small gold advantage for Humanoid has given him so much control in that mid lane matchup. Now it's the old 1v1 is... Oscar's just going to heal that all back up. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is why we are big fans of Rek'Sai top in the LEC. Pretty hard to do anything. Yeah, globally. Yeah, fair. We like it more, though. That's our secret. Jun, X-Flash over the wall. Constant posturing. Both sides need to be ready for the all-in at a moment's notice. Noah off to the side, isolated. Hard for Vitality to commit to the all-in. Noah does have the ulti, or it's about to come off cooldown. Looks like a few more seconds till it will be available. And right now, ooh, Hilly. Razork finding some initial damage. But this is the scary part, the follow-up from Jun. The hook hits Daglas. The snare is going to be there from Razork. Noah waiting over the wall. Carzzy immediately can ult. Silence for a brief moment, but Razork is already dead. He's just not tanky this early in the game, and Carzzy wants a little bit more damage down. Sky Splitter coming down, not going to connect on either target. Noah just focusing on clearing the wave. Weaver's wall in. Vetheo wants to get a little something. Jun with a nice pullback. Feathers again going to fly. Pullback is there again. Finding root onto two, but Jun is still standing. They've gotten Noah. They've gotten what they came for. Noah, excuse me, Jun is going to live for another second, but Vitality taking over in the bot lane.
Carzzy tanks up the tower at the back end of that, right as Hilly gets hooked in, so Hilly doesn't end up tanking the turret and they don't get the turnaround. So nicely done by Carzzy to step into range. And nice job by Jun to attempt it, but now Humanoid off of that play on the top side will get the tower, but still big advantages for Vitality on that bottom side.
Humanoid Azir is a terrifying prospect, but the Hex Gates giving Carzzy and the rest of Vitality an angle to make sure this Azir cannot escape. Humanoid sliding and gliding. Daglas can chase if he wants to, but doesn't have access to the flash. Humanoid does. They will not overcommit. And really, on the bottom side, this is such a massive play for Vitality. Razork clearly overestimating how tanky he is.
But watch Daglas here. Doesn't immediately use the stun. Waits for Razork to end up using the counter-strike. Then ults himself to get rid of the stun. Well, not get rid of it, but counteract the stun. Then gets his own stun down. And then watch this as we come underneath the tower as well. Jun is trying to play for a hook onto someone who's squishy, and Hilly is definitely that target as the wave is cleared out. But watch, right as Jun goes to the hook, Carzzy steps into tower range, tanks that up, continues to tank it up, so Hilly, who is closest to the tower, doesn't end up taking any more damage. And he's able to escape, because one tower shot would have killed Hilly. But thanks to Carzzy tanking up those turret shots, they're able to finish off with a double and not lose anyone.
Honestly, great eye, Dagda. I did not catch that in the moment. Really heads-up play, clean in-the-moment decision-making from Vitality, especially after the fumble that they made on the previous dive. You might have been a little bit skeptical as to how well they're going to execute, but that one, you know, a little chef's kiss moment on the tower aggro take from Carzzy. Fnatic set up on the objective. And again, Humanoid 2-0, item fully completed. Is a threat, but Daglas going in and it's the full commit. They don't hesitate at all. The damage, though, it's not the lethality. Varus, Humanoid are now isolated to the fight. Jun now needs to run. This is the disadvantage of the Blitzcrank. Once you're caught out, you got no tools to escape, and Hylissang wants to keep the ball rolling. Wave coming in on top side. Will meet in the middle. They're going to need a bit more time, but Razork knows that he's stronger for now. Grand exit coming out from Hylissang. Doesn't need to enter the fight, but Razork needs to be the one to back away here, likely just to be the top lane tier 1 for Vitality.
The stun ended up coming through from Dagdas immediately onto the counter-strike, so Razork gets a nice out of the trade, but still nets Vitality the terror on that top end of the map. You see Noah hovering around mid lane. I'm not sure if he wants to make a play into Vetheo or is trying to wait for Jun to get in position, but it will be the Rift Herald starter for Vitality. I don't really think Fnatic should fight this when a lot of their ultimates are down.
Humanoid's here and he does good damage, just jumps straight onto Carzzy. Knock up interrupted, it's now just a 1v1. Azir trying to do as much damage as he can, but here comes Daglas no longer. Humanoid goes gold and tries to get out, but there's a wall there waiting for him. That is not an exit. Razork though wants to kill Vetheo on the backside. He's already gotten 2, needs to keep this train rolling, but Noah's now coming in. He's done all that he needs to. The carries falling left and right on the side of Vitality. Vetheo lays down as much damage as he can. But he's just a Taliyah, he's not tough, he doesn't have enough in the tank. Oscar keeping this fight going. Daglas wants to turn it. Noah, have you overstepped the immediate cleanse out? But that's one beefy bear, baby! Oh, he's too strong. And now they'll back away. Nothing left.
Yeah, the Rek'Sai, not exactly a major damage dealer with the ultimate down. And Daglas will be able to heal off eventually, so they will decide that is enough for us, we will back away. But as we come back in, Humanoid goes deep, but doesn't have the ultimate up because he just used it on the top side engage. The interrupt from Jun was huge onto Hylissang because it prevents Humanoid from actually being knocked up by Hilly, so he gets as much damage down as possible onto Carzzy. But will end up falling with Razork just entering stage, or from the top side of that fight. Comes in, managing to get the kill onto Vetheo, but Noah chasing down for the entirety of this fight. Means that he is able to just finish off Vetheo with the ultimate as it comes through. And Daglas sneaks one back somehow onto Noah here. No knock-up available for Oscarinin, and the speed up on the Q is insane to chase down Noah.
That's a big bear. My man called him thick today. You know what I'm saying? He is unstoppable. We're not getting past him. And again, this is the priority and the reason why I'm sure this champion is popular in scrims. That is a scrim Volibear right there. That does not usually happen in pro play. And there's already a fight happening on the bottom side. Vetheo silence. Push back is big. Photon coming to the backside. Acceleration gate to the skies into the thundering blow. I'm not even sure who's winning right now. Too much is happening too fast. Jun running. And it looks like it's Vitality because nowhere near the fight. Noah not there. Vitality, man, advantage. They turn right to the Drake.
What the hell just happened? We came out of a replay and everyone's scrapping. Immediately, Fnatic fall on what was them setting up the tower dive. We'll have to get another replay to see exactly what took place with Photon. 3 kills, a tower off the back. I just don't understand how we just launched ourselves into that.
It doesn't matter. Getting them numbers up, that's all that matters. More kills, bloodiest series of the year. Let's get it, let's make it happen.
Oh, so they didn't spot Photon, hadn't shown on a wave. So Photon catches Fnatic out by surprise. They just expected this to only be Vetheo and have the numbers advantage, but to the skies, smacks down Fnatic. And then Oscarinen's caught between a rock and a hard place as he tries to move across. And look, Noah did try to move, but it's kind of aware that Carzzy also in a good position against them. But honestly, that play, just off the back of Photon, catching Fnatic off guard by being around in that bottom side of the map.
Okay, we're taking a breath. There have been some plays back and forth. It's 12 to 13 in kills. It's a 1K gold lead. That number does not mean a lot. What you need to keep your eye on is the individual gold leads, and that means looking at Photon. Yes, Jun is ahead. The Knight's Vow will be nice, but that Jayce is the one who can start to shift this game. The poke, the all-in potential, something that has to be respected. As the hook does land onto Hylissang. Jun again finding the angle. Hilly now dashing out. Grand entrance gonna keep him safe as Carzzy starts to poke. Ulti gonna connect onto Razork, jungler down, and already the rest of the play is coming in for Fnatic, but it might be too late. Vetheo going in, looking for the 1v1 off to the side with Humanoid, but here comes Daglas. It's a big old bear, finding his way into the back line. Down goes the Emperor. Oscar gets one back. Noah keeping the fight alive as he finds the shutdown on Photon. It's a fight on 2 fronts, both sides finding advantage.
Carzzy abandoned in lieu of trying to get Humanoid, and both end up falling, but what started off as a decent fight for Vitality with that kill onto Razork ends up being turned around by the Emperor's Divide from Humanoid.
Noah's powerful, but Daglas wants to shut this tower down, steps up, seismic shove is there, a clean pick, and Vitality just do not stop.
And as long as they don't, they get to keep the pressure on Fnatic. They don't get a second to breathe. And you see here, Razork, they try to make the play into Hilly. I was about to say one hook could change the outcome of this game, but Hilly is so easily able to escape with the amount of mobility that he has and how tanky he is. And then Carzzy predicts the jump on Razork, gets the hit. Humanoid hits Carzzy though with the ultimate. Carzzy doesn't get the flash they wanted away. And then everyone jumps onto Humanoid. I think Daglas could have potentially tried to stay on with Carzzy here and finish off Oscarinin. You can see how low he goes. But either way, it ends up being 3 for 3 off the back of it. But with the final pick coming through from Daglas, makes it a little bit more favorable for Vitality. But the mid lane tower still stands.
And you can see, while it's a noble effort from Noah to try to do as much damage as humanly possible, the fight just does not start off favorable to Fnatic. It looks good with the initial hook, but because they cannot finish the job, because Hylissang walks away, it turns against them so quickly. Jun still walking up, clean sidestep on the ulti, forward, the flash, the pushback, scooped in for a clean combo. Hilly can get out, but there's nowhere for Carzzy to go. The knock-up, the follow-up, Fnatic can set their sights on the Baron. It's so damn clean.
Jun, that was nasty. Managing to sidestep everything, the ultimate to clear the wave, the knock-up flash out the Carzzy. There's nothing the man can do. And now Vitality, they have to do something, because the Baron's about to go down. Dagdas has ult to get in the pit.
The hook, the stun, the CC is there, but Photon and Vetheo are strong. Fnatic need to finish the objective, but it's healing. Oscar trying to heal back in return. Vetheo going to be in trouble. Goes golden right as the feathers get pulled back for Noah. He's a bit over eager. Photon cues forward, but he can go and not quite get the damage. Finally finding the shutdown. 4 members up with purple. How much more can they get? They should just kill him. The ulti coming in. Knockback is good, but Oscar says not today. Fnatic take the objective.
That was so close. That accelerating shock blast could have finished off so many low health members of Fnatic in the pit, but Fnatic, Noah manages to buy space, manages to draw Vitality away. They get the Baron, and they somehow manage to get control of the game.
Control might be generous. I don't know if anyone has control of this game, Dagda.
I mean, 10-5-2 for Noah. This man is definitely quite strong, but especially off the back of this play coming through from Jun, this was so sick. The hook, immediate knockback from Humanoid. Carzzy is down. And Hylissang, look, you're gone as well. There's just nowhere left for you to run in that position. But this is where it starts to get dangerous, because the rest of the squad on Vitality do so much work at getting Fnatic low, but just not quite enough to finish. Now with 50 seconds until the Dragon, that could be third Dragon for Vitality. But Fnatic, they have decent map control at the moment. The only presence is Vetheo on that top side.
Fnatic finally able to slow things down a bit with the Baron buff. Played the game at their own pace here. Have not hesitated to match Vitality, but now they're the ones who could try to kick things off. Bit of CC onto Jun, punishing the Blitzcrank for overstanding. Hylissang highwaying through the rest of his teammates trying to get it done, but Humanoid now steps up. Oscar, unkillable. Razork retreating. They're so damn strong, but here comes Vetheo, the Weaver's Wall, but he's going to walk right into the waiting tower of Humanoid. Needs to kill the Azir, but Humanoid says, nah, baby. I got soldiers to protect me, and Razork's one of them. Carzzy, though, remains unperturbed. He does not care. Noah, again, in the final moments of the fight, walking up to face down Carzzy, making sure that his mid laner can stand strong. So many blinking health bars. Arrow will not connect. And meaningful damage, and the tower is going to fall, but the TP from behind, that was round 1, baby. Ring the bell, round 2 starting. Humanoid and Noah versus Vetheo and Daglas, 2v2. Third volley won't initially connect. CC not going to connect either. Sky Splitter, he's been outscaled. The Volibear early game is over. Noah and Humanoid wait until they see the whites of their eyes before they start taking their shots. They stop Daglas in his tracks.
Jun, though, wants to go fishing. Hook goes wide. Vitality, though, is starting to come back into the map faster. Razork only just coming back out. Daglas does need to go back, so at the moment, this will be a 4 versus 5 on the Dragon. Vetheo helping escort that minion wave in to deal the damage he needs in the turret, but Noah feels like he's just got the Dragon here.
Noah so strong now. Has the tools to protect himself. Frees Jun up to make plays. They're in such a good position. This is where he thrives. We've seen it with the Xayah, we've seen it with the Xayah many times. Is it enough for Fnatic to end? They're favored. Baron's about to fade away. Because they take the Dragon, they lose maybe an extra wave that they can play off of. Maybe get this bot lane tier 2 if Vitality are slow to roam or slow to move over. But the buff now fades, and a bit easier for Photon to just clear these waves and threaten with the poke. But the man advantage ensures that they do grab another tier 2, extend their goal lead a little bit further forward. 2-2 the Drake score. But now Hylissang coming in on the side will be spotted by the control ward crucially. Jun, where does the hook go? Daglas continuing to chase.
Oscarinin moved mid. So Vitality were trying to see if they could get that engage, but Fnatic just a little bit too quick because they end up walking out of there. So nicely done by Fnatic. Again, it's been very back and forth this game. I know with only 2k gold in the difference, it can still break both ways. One team fight could make all the difference, but the fact that you've got Noah as big as he is, Razork getting caught.
Razork getting caught up. Counter-Strike going to fade away in a moment, but he manages to stun two. Razork very strong, but 3 members standing on top of him, likely going to be the end of him. Jun finding the hook, finding one back. Razork still living. Counter-Strike back up. Pick denied. Carzzy charging the arrow, but no, he's getting a couple of extra free hits here.
Not even close. What do you mean? Razork totally fine off the back of that. Photon had to reset. He wanted to move in towards the top side to protect tower, so just missing on that smidge of damage that maybe could have been the pick. But you kind of wanted to reset anyways, Razork, so not the end of the world. Just finish his Megatron cloak as well.
Yeah, 3 scary people trying to murder me. I wanted to reset anyway. I mean, well played by Fnatic and Razork to survive in that circumstance. Now moving in to take the red buff away to deny that from the side of Vitality, slowly looking to choke them out of this game. Jun anticipating a potential flank in the brush, does just throw a blind hook. Daglas on the flank, finally drops a control ward. Weaver's wall is there. Razork going to be in trouble. Vetheo over his own wall, though. Maybe not ideal because the flick back doesn't connect. He's immediately forced to pull it back. Noah just one-shot Hylissang. Lovers duo, my ass. That's a clean kill from Noah.
Noah swipes Hilly off the map, and Fnatic, they still feel confident in front of this tower. Photon wants to try and dissuade them, though. Forcing not screwing away. It's still a 3v4. And Fnatic don't want to let up.
Taking the time, Vetheo over eager, going to get punished as the hook from Jun is clean. Carzzy can't really step up here. Vetheo will fall. That's the shutdown. Oscar wants a little bit more, but he may give his life for trying to step up. Photon down 2. Now it's Carzzy versus 3 on the dive. The pull is there. Jun cannot miss in this game.
The bot lane from Fnatic is having an absolute stormer, and Jun is leading that charge. We were posturing as we were looking at Champ Select what was going to be the pick for Jun. This Blitzcrank has been an absolute menace since he brought it out. And here, the fact that Noah goes up into the air, he flashes away thinking he's going to get the feather pullback, but Noah saves it for a second. The hook by Jun onto the Volibear pulls him away and from the threat feathers as well. Exactly, through the feathers.
I don't know
it's
if it's
just
planned, but it's montage material. This is what you want from Noah and Jun. The playmaking, the confidence on these carries, and again, Vitality, you know, they're doing what they can to fight back in these circumstances. Oscar gives his life, but Fnatic just too far ahead, hitting what they need to hit. Stopwatches left and right. Now Xayah's completed. Fnatic starting to poke the objective. The hook, gonna miss. Relatively low cooldown. But Jun potentially going to be in trouble. Oscar off to the side. Hylissang has to be careful, though. They have to respect the rocket grab.
You can still go into mid tower, though. Fnatic have that way.
They don't have mid control at all. If they lose a fight, they lose Baron and probably the game as well. So they're going to back away. They have a bit of vision to see if Fnatic at least go over the wall. Vetheo now stepping up. Threaded volley to spot out Oscar. Hook gonna connect onto Vetheo. It's big. The soldiers follow, but he's still standing. Jun taken out, but the objective already down. Fnatic got what they came for. They'll give one for the big purple worm.
There's nowhere to CP2 or try and get involved, so Vitality for the moment just trying to shove in mid-wave, see if they can push this right the way in. Dragon isn't 30 seconds, so see if they can establish vision on this bottom side. Get Fnatic into a position where potentially they could look for a pick, but I don't even know if Fnatic really care. Yes, it'll be third Dragon, but they're already starting to knock on this top side, trying to draw Vitality back into their own base.
And there's an argument that the Jayce is going to outscale the Rek'Sai on the top side, and I think that certainly is true, but the Jax is also just going to outscale. He's so hard for their team to deal with, right? Taliyah really the only reliable source of damage there, and kind of a pretty defensive build from Vetheo. Makes a lot of sense, but the game is not getting easier for Vitality, as they're still going to fish for picks. They're still going to look for something. You can see in the corner of the minimap, Hylissang looking for those angles. Doesn't want to hit Razork, does want to lock up Humanoid. Pushback is good, but Hylissang is safe for now. Seismic shove connecting onto Humanoid, but the follow-up damage is not there. They are overestimating how powerful they are, and Noah is relentless. Feathers fly to die in an instant, and now Carzzy sent running. Vetheo trying to make the hero play, but there's not enough damage. Fnatic find the kill. Noah fighting, desperate for the 1v1. Oscar there for the alley-oop to send Carzzy right back to the fountain. Fnatic coming alive in game 2 on the backs of their bottom lane.
Fnatic needed to find that success, needed to find something to push themselves forward in this series, and they'll find it in game number 2.
A reminder that last game was 53 kills. The record this game was 54. Let's get those numbers up, gang. The series just keeps delivering incredible stuff from Fnatic. Obviously, the bot lane really solid. Humanoid as well. A lot of the plays with the Azir ultimate. The catalyst to bring this team into the game to put the vitality down. For now, though, we're going to send to a quick break. 1-1 in the series. Let's see who takes game 3 when we get back.
Wow, this is amazing.
I mean, I had a break, so... do you want to try? I'll be right back.
I want to try. Me? Maybe. What am I gonna do?
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Wow! VIT! Incroyable, magnifique. What? No! What are you doing? What are you doing? No, keep it. It was so good.
Yours was better.
Welcome everyone to the Kia Tilt-Proof Challenge. We're here to see if 4 gamers can stand up to the test.
Well, this... Oh!
Dios mío de mi vida.
I think I lost.
I'm so happy that I didn't eat before.
Red Bull gives you wings.